Hi friends, my name's Trish Roberts and you're watching Faint Signals from Vega. I do the occasional live stream on veganism, and if you've never ever had anything to do with veganism before, or maybe you have a passing interest in it, then I invite you to stay. As you know, there's a couple of holidays coming up, one in a couple of days in the United States, Thanksgiving, and then there's one later, which is usually celebrated with a lot of turkeys being killed. And I wanted to share with you, if I may, an essay which is by Gentle World, which is a vegan intentional community. And it's called 10 Things Everyone Should Know About Free-Range Turkeys. And I mentioned free-range because many people think that they're doing the right things by sentient animals, by selecting what they consider to be humanely raised, humanely in quotes, animals. And my intention about talking about veganism is that these animals are sentient beings just like we are, and they don't want to die. They want to live just like we do. And that this idea that is often promoted by animal groups and by farmers, etc., that animals, it's morally okay to eat animals that are humanely raised and quote unquote compassionately killed, and all those sort of different euphemisms which really don't mean anything, and they're a deception. So, I like to, I'm going to share with you this essay, which is not that long. And I'm also going to put a link to another live stream I did, which is about, it's called Humane, What's in a Word? And I think that will it'll be a bit of an eye-opener to watch that live stream too. And it discusses the whole myth around the idea of humanely using animals and the whole animal welfare idea, which is really just about making industry economically efficient. It has nothing at all to do with animals and their welfare. But without further ado, I'll jump into this essay. 10 Things Everyone Should Know About Free-Range Turkeys. Over 280 million turkeys are slaughtered annually for human consumption in the United States, despite the fact that such consumption is unnecessary for humans and absolutely horrifying for turkeys. 45 million of those deaths occur for the ritual of Thanksgiving alone. Increasingly, as consumers are becoming more aware of the extreme cruelty of animal farming, free-range, organic, and quote-unquote natural animal products, excuse me, I've lost my place. Let me start that again. Over 280 million turkeys are slaughtered annually for human consumption in the United States, despite the fact that such consumption is unnecessary for humans and absolutely horrifying for turkeys. 45 million of those deaths occur for the ritual of Thanksgiving alone. Increasingly, as consumers are becoming more aware of the extreme cruelty of animal farming, free-range, organic, and quote-unquote natural animal products are gaining popularity. What many people don't realize, however, is that animals raised under these labels frequently suffer through much of the same torment as those in standard factory farming operations. So here's the first one. According to the USDA, the term quote-unquote free range and quote-unquote free roaming can be used to describe animals that quote, are allowed to access the outside for 51% of their lives, end quote. There are no other requirements, including the amount of time spent outdoors or the quality and size of the outdoor area. For this reason, contrary to popular belief, quote-unquote free-range facilities are generally no more than large sheds in which tens of thousands of turkeys are crammed together on filthy, disease-ridden floors, living in their own waste. The conditions are often so poor that many turkeys die simply from the stress of living in such an environment. And this is number 2. Lighting is often kept dim to discourage aggression, since birds can engage in feather plucking and even cannibalism when they become highly stressed. Low lighting can cause reduced activity levels and result in abnormalities in growth, such as in their eyes and legs. This is number 3. When raised for food, turkeys, even those described as free-range, are genetically modified to grow abnormally large, often twice their normal size, for producer profits. This genetic modification causes severe health problems, but since turkeys are generally slaughtered 5 months into their natural lifespan of 10 years, most are killed prior to the heart attacks or organ failure that would otherwise occur after 6 months. This becomes apparent when genetically modified turkeys are rescued and allowed to live out the rest of their lives in sanctuary situations. Number 4. Quote-unquote natural, quote-unquote free-range, and quote-unquote organic turkeys are routinely subjected to debeaking, which is intended to prevent overcrowding birds from pecking at each other. Debeaking involves slicing off about 1/3 of a bird's beak with a red-hot blade when the turkey is around 5 days old, or often even younger. Number 5. To prevent cannibalism due to stressful conditions, turkeys sold under the above labels are just as likely to be subjected to detowing. Detowing is a very painful procedure which involves cutting off or microwaving the ends of the toes of male turkeys within the first 3 days of life. Number 6. Free-range organic and natural operations are also allowed to practice desnooding, which consists of the cutting off of the snood, the fleshy appendage above the beak. Desnooding is an actively painful procedure and is often done with scissors or using methods that are too brutal to describe here. Number 7. By the time the birds are sent to slaughter, as much as 80% of the litter on the floor of the shed is their own feces. This results in a buildup of ammonia, causing turkeys to develop ulcerated feet and painful burns on their legs and bodies. When they reach market weight, free-range turkeys generally undergo the same horrifying conditions on the way to slaughter as does any quote-unquote factory-farmed animal. Workers gather up these birds up to 4 at a time, carrying them upside down by their legs and then throwing them into crates on multi-tiered trucks. During transport, they are at the mercy of the elements, sometimes enduring extreme cold, and are denied access to food or water. Number 9. After transportation, free-range turkeys arrive at the same slaughterhouses as turkeys from any other facility. In these places, workers often torture the turkeys, kicking them, throwing them into walls, and breaking their necks and bones. Number 10. Even when turkeys are not intentionally tortured during transportation or at the slaughterhouse, the killing process itself would certainly be considered torture if done to a human being. The birds are hung upside down by their legs and dipped in an electrical bath that is supposed to, quote-unquote, stun them, but often only causes convulsions and terror. If they miss the stunning bath, their throats are slit while they're still conscious. Sometimes, because they are flailing around, they miss both the bath and the blade and end up alive in the scalding tank designed to remove feathers. As anyone familiar with animal sanctuary operations will tell you, turkeys are intelligent social beings who nurture and protect their young and thrive in their natural habitat, even when they are stressed and confined in these quote-unquote free-range concentration camps, they have an amazing will to live, as do all sentient beings. In the extremely rare cases where turkeys are raised gently in someone's backyard, slaughter by any method is intentional killing of the innocent and clearly unnecessary for humans, and is therefore wrong and logically indistinguishable from murder. Instead of practicing the primitive ritual of making the sacrifice of a turkey the focus of a Thanksgiving dinner, consider giving thanks for all life by having a vegan Thanksgiving, if that's what you like to celebrate, as in Thanksgivings. Being vegan inspires a new sense of self-esteem, which comes from not contributing to the unnecessary and heartless killing of those who simply want to live their lives as you do. So that's really, quite a disturbing account of what happens in to turkeys in these so-called free-range farms. And you'll find that all so-called, humanely raised animals suffer tremendously. There is no such thing as non-abusive use of animals, and there's no such thing as humane slaughter, and it's an oxymoron, and it's also just morally unjustifiable anyway, even if it was done in the most loving way, stroking their heads and then slitting their throats, playing music while you do it. It's still, wrong. Killing sentient animals, particularly when we don't need to. We don't need animal products to survive. We can easily meet all our nutrition requirements from plants and other non-animal sources. And the only reason that we have really to participate in the killing and the torture and killing of 1 trillion land and aquatic animals every year is because we think they taste good. And that's really the only thing the only excuse we can have is because they taste good. That's just morally unjustifiable. So I invite you, please, to check out, sorry, I have a little cat visiting me at the moment. I invite you to check out my vegan resource, howtogovegan.org. It's a comprehensive vegan podcast. And it covers the ethical reasons why we should be vegan, because that is what will keep us vegan, and that's the reason we should be vegan, because veganism is an ethical position. It's not a diet. It's not some fad. It's not a way to get skinny. It's not any of those things. All the many benefits that we may get from being vegan, and that's health. It's also addressing the 51% of greenhouse gases from animal agriculture. There's a whole lot of the list is long of the benefits, the ancillary benefits of being vegan. But the most important reason, and the one that will keep us vegan, is to recognize the sentience of other animals, and that there's no good reason to be putting them through this dreadful torture every single second of every day. There's 1,000 or more animals, thousands of animals every second of every hour of every day who are being tortured and killed in the most abominable ways. And this is all for completely unnecessary reasons. We just don't need to do it. And even though veganism rejects using animals for food, that's dairy, eggs, meat, honey, clothing, leather, silk, wool, fur, entertainment, and other reasons. But the actual diet itself, the plant-based diet, it can be, there's so much variety, so many cuisines that we can eat, and there's more and more. If you want pre-made products, there's more and more on the market shelves, because veganism is growing in the world, and there's more and more vegans. So that creates a demand, and as capitalist industry recognizes that demand, and they're starting to supply more pre-made vegan vegan products. If you're into that, I don't really buy much in the way of pre-made products. I tend to just, eat whole foods and make my own. And there's literally thousands and thousands of recipes online, and it's just delicious. So, it's not rabbit food and it's not unhealthy. And if you want to find out about that, I cover that nutrition aspects on my site, and you'll find that, in fact, animal products, particularly in the amounts we eat them, don't belong in our bodies. Excuse me. So, I invite you to please check out howtogovegan.org and, and read and listen to some of the information on there. It's a podcast, so you can listen to it on your treadmill or going for a walk or in a doctor's waiting room. And I think that you'll find it interesting. And also check out the Humane What's in a Word, which I'll leave in the comment section, that you can watch this live stream. And you can also, if you feel like it, subscribe to my site on YouTube, which is youtube.com/Vegan Trove, VEGANTROVE, and it's called Faint Signals from Vega. And, or you can just go to faintsignalsfromvega.com, and there's information on that. So, that's really all I wanted to say. I wish that I could, transmit how wonderful it is to be vegan to you. I mean, I wish that I could, I wish I could do a mind meld, really, and let you know how amazing it is to be vegan, and how it becomes more and more wonderful as you go on, as the years go by. I've been vegan now for 12 years, and I couldn't imagine not being vegan now. And as many vegans who have become vegan for ethical reasons, which is what veganism is, they often say the only regret I have about being vegan is that I didn't become vegan sooner. And I would absolutely agree with that. I just think about it. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please contact me. You can write to info at howtogovegan.org. And no question is too small, as long as it's sincere. Please contact me, and I'm happy to assist you in any way I can. And that's really all I want to say. So I hope that you think about this, and if you have any questions whatsoever, please contact me. And remember, there's no such thing as humane animal exploitation, and even if there were, it would still be wrong. So let's just go vegan and bypass all this nonsense, all the scam of happy animal products and happy animal slavery, and just go vegan, and nobody gets hurt then. Okay, well, thanks very much for watching. My name is Trish Roberts. You're watching Faint Signals from Vega. Till next time, bye for now.